Elizabeth Benoit settled in a chair across from the two men. A carafe was placed in the center of the table and white ceramic mugs and dessert plates were set in front of each person. The pièce de résistance left for the trio was a square glass dish brimming with Navah McKinley's famous pecan sticky rolls. The retired teacher took a chair next to her son.
Well, I feel like I'm getting the royal treatment.
Elizabeth poured a generous cup and served herself a fat, square roll.
To what do I owe this grand pleasure?
Jason McKinley, the youngest man to serve as mayor for 3 points, folded his hands and leaned toward her.
As you know, it's an election year.
He inclined his head to the second man in an Eckert County deputy's uniform.
Rafe and I have been talking.
Her antenna rose.
Have you now?
It's nothing bad, I assure you. We have lots of concerns, and we feel like you're the best person to address them.
Now this was proving interesting.
And what concerns would those be?
The direction this county has been going for the last 3 decades.
Rafe Fontaine's deep rumbling timbre caught the attention of Elizabeth's canine companion, who abandoned her owner for one of her other favorite people. Stifling the comment that popped on her tongue, Elizabeth shoved a corner of the Caravelle goodness into her pie hole. Rafe's left eyebrow peaked.
Ellie, the folks of Eckert County are tired of the downward spiral this county has gone into.
Jason pried his hands apart and laid them flat on his mother's brilliant blue tablecloth.
I became mayor of 3 points to help quell the problems, but I'm getting nowhere as long as certain people are still in control of portions of our government.
Elizabeth took a sip of coffee to ease the lump of dough down her throat and placed her mug on the table.
County council and other mayoral positions are not up for election this year.
Rafe and Jason glanced at each other. A tick in Rafe's jawline set the antenna to waving.
Correct, those are not.
Jason blinked.
But the sheriff's seat is.
Neither man flinched as Elizabeth crossed her arms and leaned forward.
Mrs. McKinley, this wouldn't happen to be your idea, now would it?
The retired teacher continued to sip her coffee and stay out of the conversation.
Gentlemen, what in the world gives you the idea that I'm even 1/3 qualified to be sheriff?
Joel told me about all the online classes in criminology and law.
Elizabeth's eyelid twitched.
Is that a fact? And what else did my usually tight-lipped, no safecracker in the world could ever break, ex-husband tell you?
Elizabeth, we all remember what happened to Brendet. We were all here when it happened.
Navah McKinley reached out and grasped her hand.
Who better to find out what really transpired than her #1 champion? As sheriff, you have every right to reinvestigate her death.
And we get rid of one of the worst sheriffs in Eckert County history.
Jason said.
You want me to run against Kelly Sheehan for sheriff? He has decades of experience over me, and let's not forget his weird voodoo magic hold on people. I'd never win.
Don't sell yourself short.
Navah squeezed her hand.
You have the very things people are thirsting for: honor, integrity, smarts, and family.
And you look better than him.
Rafe added.
Thank you for that fine assessment, Raphael Fontaine.
Elizabeth bit down on her cheeks to quell the smile.
Mom's right, you can win this. And once you've taken office, we can begin the process of weeding out the criminals and corruption that's been plaguing our communities for so long, starting with the drug problem.
Jason, you act as if I already have won the election. I haven't even given my consent to do this. I need time to think about it.
There's not much time. In order to get a good campaign going and make sure people go to the booth voting for you, we need an answer by tonight.
Not leaving a whole lot of wiggle room there for a second option, Mayor.
The only option is another 4 years of Sheehan's corrupt and perverted version of law and order.
Jason pushed out of his seat and tilted forward.
What's your final answer, Elizabeth?